See, now you're off the side of the frame.
All right, we're
Are we
ready.
live?
Yeah. I'm Keith. This is Spiv. Say hi, Spiv.
Hi, Spiv.
And we have new stuff for you. Hopefully, our new microphones are working better. So I like to look up videos online and show them to Spiv. So right.
You want me to check the stream?
Yeah.
Hold on here. Let me shut the door.
Can't hurt. She's gone to check the stream. How's it going in there? Check, check, check. Can you hear me all right? All right.
There's a itty bit of background noise, but it's not enough to be a problem. Camera looks good.
Okay.
Our live stream photo, though, is the background of the house for our last episode, but that's okay.
All right. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. I'm Keith. This is Spiv. Say hi, Spiv.
Hi, Spiv.
We got new microphones. We got new stuff for you today. I like to find videos online, show them to Spiv here, get her reaction to them. So this is Judge Webster, one of the judges I like to watch on YouTube.
Oh, I don't have an earbud.
Oh, yeah, here.
I need to hear. Uh-oh. That's dumb. Got it. Is it one of the magnetic or touch ones? I'll accidentally turn it off. Alright, I think we're good.
All right. This is Judge Webster.
Just you kind of take a deep breath and try to get rid of the attitude, because then if you don't, you may cause me to have to get an attitude too. So
Well, likewise, take that deep breath. Do the same thing. You know what I mean?
Excuse me?
We're in Eureka, Kansas for a hearing.
Nice lady.
So are these just a bunch of judges?
48-year-old William Wayne Phillips has been charged with speeding and driving with a suspended license. 3 months earlier, Phillips was pulled over for driving 86 miles an hour in a 65 zone. He was also cited for his second driving with a suspended license offense. Today, Phillips appears without an attorney before Judge Phyllis Webster to discuss next steps in the case. But before the hearing even begins, Phillips seems to have irritated the judge.
Now, William Phillips, did the officer tell you not to smoke?
It's kind of hard to hear around here. I'm out of town on a construction site, and I'm the lead, so.
Judge Webster lets the cigarette slide and moves on to the charges.
Mr. Phillips, are you going to be hiring an attorney, sir? You could waive your right, though, and represent yourself, and we can either set this for trial or give you some time to talk to an attorney. What would you like to do?
If I need an attorney, I'm not going to get one from you guys. That's most definitely.
Okay, so you're going to hire an attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Let's put this on a Monday.
Can it be scheduled after that? I won't be back in this area for the next, 2 or 3 months.
You want to try to do it before you leave? When are you leaving?
I'm already gone. That's the
you're
thing.
already-
I'm in Independence, Kansas.
Well, that's not that far.
It is when I have to work. I mean,
All right, sir, I'm detecting a bit of an attitude, and I've had a bit of problem with you all day long. I suggest you kind of take a deep breath and try to get rid of the attitude, because then if you don't, you may cause me to have to get an attitude too. So,
well, likewise, take that deep breath. Do the same thing. You know what I mean?
Excuse me?
I said same. Do the same thing. Take that deep breath.
I couldn't figure out who these other people were. These are just other people waiting to go to court. They're just sitting there watching. They're like, oh my God, all these people.
Some of the others on the call seem amused by
Without saying too much about what I do for my job. I do work in a courthouse, and I do watch a lot of misdemeanor courts.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'm in the misdemeanor courtroom for this, and yeah, they do have a bunch of people on Zoom. They're all just waiting for their cases, or they're witnesses for cases. They're, like that court security. He's probably a witness for a case. So. Yeah.
He's the one she keeps talking to. These other people, I think, are just because I thought they might be lawyers or something, and sometimes they are. But these folks just seem to be waiting, and they can hear. They're not on pause. They're just listening to the whole thing.
Yeah,
and these people have to go after this guy and be like, "Don't wait, don't upset Judge Webster."
Yeah, these people basically. The reason they're watching is because I would be sitting in the courtroom.
Just sitting in court, right?
Wow, this is
That's
happening.
how it would work. Yeah. You just think they'd put them on pause. We'll be with you in a minute. But no, they're sitting right there listening to the whole thing. And then they're like, this is going to be boring. This is.
Phillips comments,
I don't know if they're terrified
but the judge is not happy.
All right, Mr. Phillips, do you know what my title is?
I do, but that doesn't give you the right to belittle me or anybody else in your court.
I am finding your conduct contemptuous because you're interfering and disrespecting the process and the court. You are hereby fined for direct contempt of court $100 cash.
That's fine.
You've complained that you can't be here when I tell you to, that it's inconvenient because you're maybe a couple hours away. Some of these people are in other states. So don't tell me.
That's not this case. That's not this case. This is my case, not their case.
Yes, it is. And that's $200 for contempt. You better get a clue who's in charge here. $200, Mr. Phillips, due in court Monday, or you can serve 3 days in jail. I have found you in direct contempt of court. You owe the court $200.
I don't owe you nothing. I owe the court and the state of Kansas. See, that's your problem. You're taking your own personality into your law, and that's not appropriate. Can we hurry up and get this over with?
$500 cash for direct court, and I am ordering you to surrender yourself by 2:30 today to the Butler County District Court.
I cannot do that.
Then I'm going to send a sheriff out to get you.
I'm going to hire an attorney. I am going to get off this Zoom, and I want this sent to my email. And I demand this footage, because I'm going to take this and I'm going to appeal.
Look at the bailiff. The bailiff is like,
the whole time.
All right, I've given you my order. Disconnect him from the call. He better be here, or the sheriff will go out.
I will not be there.
Missy, disconnect
I
him.
was trying to reschedule it, so
Mr. Phillips.
All right, folks, let's move on.
What?
I know. What do you say to that? And now he's going to get an attorney. I like the fact that now he's going to get an attorney.
Okay. She was really nice to him
Right?
to even do the $100,
$100,
all that.
I might mouth off to a judge for $100. I thought like you were going to get shot or handcuffed or muzzled or $100 to mouth off to a judge. That's a pretty good deal.
The only courtroom I usually see someone actually get arrested for contempt of court is like in injunction court, because a lot of people treat it like it's court it's TV.
I got you.
TV court.
They're not taking it serious.
Oh well, they'll yell at the other parties. There's a lot of that infighting. It's mostly baby mama drama or baby daddy drama.
Yeah, a lot of emotion.
Treat it like that, but
All right, let's see how he does.
Phillips failed to show up in court that day, and a bench warrant was issued for his arrest. After spending 6 days in jail, he was released on a $1,000 bond. His case is pending.
He got released.
Because he was disrespectful.
All right.
And so in our state, for suspension of a license, 9 times out of 10,
Particularly in this case,
bring in a good driver's license. And you notice he was doing that in his car.
Yeah, with a cigarette.
You can't do that. You can't do it. Why was he doing it in his car if he was he was in trouble for it?
All right.
So particularly in this case,
I don't think I've seen her.
Where the defendant has been told by multiple judges that we would have a trial. Judge Rickey said he set it.
Technical issues.
particularly in this case,
Don't have video.
where the
all right, let's try this one.
Welcome back to the Lackluster channel. The other day I published a video update from an Welcome back to the Lackluster channel. The other day I published a video update from an unlawful traffic stop that ended with a
take a deep breath and try to get rid of the attitude, because then if you don't, you may cause me to have to get an attitude too. So
well, do the same thing. You know what I mean?
particularly in this case, where the defendant 2020 particularly in this case, where the defendant has been told by multiple judges that we would have a trial. Judge Ricky said he said it. Let me get to my judge.
There we go.
Judge Ricky.
I can hear you now.
All right. So this is Judge Webster again.
Oh, did you grab, is this your, that's not your leather jacket. It's still with the club button.
Particularly in this case, where the defendant has been told by multiple judges that we would have a trial. Judge Ricky said he said it. Let me get to my judge. Judge Ricky told him he was setting it for jury trial with me, and no, I strike that. Judge Lee told him it was going to be set for jury trial. This has just been, he's seen 3 judges over the course of a number of months. He's told each of us he was going to hire his attorney. And now we come in here after he was specifically told to be ready to go to trial today, and he's not. And the reason you all know, I'm sure, that I am expressing frustration with this defendant is because he cannot do what courts tell him to do, according to my experience with him. And let's put that camera over there a little bit further so he can participate in these hearings.
Mr. Phillips.
Okay, so
This defendant has told me in no uncertain ways that he doesn't have to give me what I ask for. He won't do it. He does not have to appear when I tell him to, and he has told me he won't appear when I tell him to. He has called me names, referred to me in a negative light, and he just does not seem to appreciate the judicial authority of me, of Chief Judge Ricky, or Judge Lee. He does not do anything any of us tell him to do, except I am impressed he shows up today with an attorney, one of which I know is very respectable and does do what he says he's going to do. So we are making progress.
To that end, Your Honor, at some point my client would like to address you.
The other issue?
No, to address you.
All right. Well, at this time, I will grant the continuance at the defendant's request, but it's going to be the only trial continuance because I feel like this defendant has just been trampling over the judicial system for months now, just literally trampling over it. And I don't know, Mr. Zolator, if you've seen the videos from earlier hearings, but if you haven't, you really need to.
We have.
This case will be continued. When's our next bench trial? Or does he want a jury trial? I have a jury trial in February.
So, the attorney,
Your Honor, I haven't discussed that with him. I am representing to the court that I do not think a trial will be necessary. If I must elect, I will have to go with a jury trial at this time because I have not talked to him about waiving his constitutional right, which I think is guaranteed because it's a Class A misdemeanor, not a Class B. If we set this for a status, I think we can probably get this resolved. I can't guarantee that. If you don't want to do that, I would request the jury trial set in February.
I will set it for jury trial, but you'll need, of course, make the written demand and so forth. Because I just don't want to let him, of course, like I said, he's got you now, and you're not prone to play the games that he has. So, all right. When's our next available status conference? Not until January?
And I apologize, Your Honor. I'm not available that date either.
Okay.
See if he does better.
But if we can resolve this, I certainly will try to get a plea date before then.
Okay. Well, let's set it for pretrial February 3rd, 2025 at 9 a.m. and that will be by Zoom. The pretrial will be by Zoom. But of course, the bench trial or the jury trial that I'm setting will be February 5th and 6th, and that will be live at the courthouse. And the defendant, as condition of bond, is ordered to appear both days. Still wouldn't quit disrespecting and disobeying the court until eventually he was ordered to reappear later the same day in person at 2:30 p.m. He told me he wasn't going to. He wouldn't tell me where he lived, where he worked, blatantly refused to answer any questions of his whereabouts or anything I asked of him.
Well, he's the lead.
He continued to smoke during the Zoom, even though he'd been told not to. He continued to eat and take an enormous amount of drinks. And he continued to get in and out of his truck and walk around the job site, take his hard hat on, take it off, walk all about, all during other defendants' hearings. And then when his case was called, that's when he started becoming blatantly, verbally disrespectful and telling the court how to do its job and not do its job. Throughout the docket, he was highly disrespectful and disruptive. He would talk over the court time that he did not to pay the contempt within 1 week. He didn't pay it. He saw Judge Lee September 20th. Judge Lee said, well, he'll leave the contempt up to me when he sees me again. But he still hasn't paid it. Once again, he has totally disregarded court orders. So let's first deal with the consequences of his not paying as multiple courts have ordered him to do. Then I want to address his direct contempt of not appearing when he was told to do later that day of August 14th. Now, whether we address Judge Ricky's orders that he violated, that we may postpone and let Judge Ricky decide if he wants to pursue that or if we want to go after him and is not appearing as he told me he wasn't going to do and didn't, even though I ordered it. So let's start with why he hasn't paid, followed by why he didn't follow my order to appear. Counsel?
Well, first, Your Honor, I do know that he would like to apologize to you if you'd allow him to do that, and he doesn't have an explanation that's going to justify his conduct, nor is he going to try to. But I know he wants to apologize. I mean, the money's one thing. He doesn't have a lot of money, but his conduct is something he can't control no matter what. I do. If you allow me the opportunity to address you, I think we'd like to start there, if that's okay with Your Honor.
Well, normally I appreciate a kind apology, but frankly, I'm not sure it's going to be sincere, and I don't want it unless it's sincere, Mr. Zolotor. I sense if he makes an apology, it's going to be because his attorney told him that he needs to do that.
Why would he apologize to another judge?
Well, Your Honor, I would throw it at your feet, let him apologize, and whether you find it sincere or not, I mean, I can't make that judgment for you. I think you know that, but I'm not trying to speak for you. I'm not sure what else I'm supposed to do other than let him. I will stand away and let him make his remarks.
All right. Go ahead, Mr. Phillips.
I would just like to say I am very sorry for my actions that day. Again, me apologizing doesn't give my actions justification in any means or in any grounds. I disrespected you, your court, your officer here, the DA, and I've been under a lot of stress, working out of town, very many hours with very little pay, and there's no excuse for it. I just more bad things happening combinedly, and it all came out in the very wrong place, wrong time with the wrong person. And I am very sincere in my apology. It's not. When all this happened, I wanted to apologize, and even if you go ahead and read the other cases, when the other judge sentenced me when I was in Butler County, I was even apologizing then. I think I had the same district attorney there where I was trying to apologize, at least to you, if not to you, to someone that can actually hear the apology without someone sitting next to me trying to say, maybe he had, someone tell him to do it or whatever. I am very sorry. I mean, my actions are out of line, and there is no excuse for it. I'm truly sorry for disrespecting you personally and the court as well.
What happens on these things?
I think the whole day of August 14th started off bad because I have a note that before court even, you had called the one of the clerks and informed her you weren't coming to court because you were working in Independence, Kansas. And she explained to you that you could appear by Zoom and gave you the codes. And we weren't sure, based on your conversation, that you were going to appear, but you did appear by Zoom, and then the rest of it went from there. So why did you not, well, strike that, I don't. You still have not paid the $500, and no matter how sorry you are, your conduct was outrageous, and it's not going to be just excused. You've had since August 14th to pay that. You gave me the impression that you were a powerful employee of a well-to-do company and you were making good money, that you emphasized you were the supervisor. And you showed me by walking around that you did have a crew there. Now you're saying you're underpaid. Are you going to offer the underpayment as justification for not following my order or Chief Judge Ricky's to get that paid?
She's asking you why you haven't paid.
No, Your Honor. When we were in court that day, you said I had to pay it or do 3 days in jail, and that's the whole reason. I mean, if you go back in the Zoom videos,
was that your understanding?
That was my understanding. That was my sincere understanding. So when I went back in front of that judge, I was asking the same questions, like, do I still have to pay this, or what's going on? Because it was 3 days, I did 6. I just don't understand. And he said, we're gonna let you decide that, because I'm still willing to pay it, but my understanding.
Excuse me, sir, that is what the third judge said. Chief Judge Ricky told you September 11th you would pay it within 1 week. He didn't give you any jail time, and I don't think I did either, because I told you to be here that day at 2:30, and you didn't show up or pay. So I don't buy that you misunderstood, and that somewhere are you saying you think you paid it because you got arrested and had to serve a little time before the judge saw you?
Well, yeah, I thought it was like.
So you not only misunderstood me, you misunderstood Chief Judge Ricky when he said you paid that $500 within the week.
All right, so that's Judge Webster. That's a lot of fun. I like Judge Webster. All right.
Welcome back to the Lackluster channel.
All right, so this one I call Ain't Got Time for That. Let's see if I can get this to play.
Yeah. Give me a butt. Oh, you're all wet. Why's your butt wet? You chewing on your butt. Oh, yeah. You chewing on your butt? Oh, actually, I like he has.
Successfully complete. We just wanted you to have that option on the table as well. That is an option that doesn't cost the court anything.
Right.
The state.
And for the record, I'm aware of the Dream Center and their program and what they do. And so if I have any specific questions, if we get to something where I would need that, then I appreciate them being here and I'll ask those questions. Ms. Malfino, does the state have any witnesses? No. All right, then argument.
Judge, I want to, I recognize this is a unique case and a unique ask that we're making here. This is not something small that we're asking for. I have sort of personally taken Catherine on over the last 3+ years, I guess almost 4 years, as a project for me, if that makes any sense. And what I mean by that is I really wanted to put to the test, could this person do everything that I asked her to do to at least get her an opportunity to be here in front of you asking what we're asking for. She exceeded my expectations by doing the 90-day inpatient rehabilitation. And while she was there, she started to explore with her counselors and her therapists there some of the underlying issues that went beyond just physical addiction, but actually had to do with her mental health and some of the things that she's experienced in her life. I'm not going to detail them on the record, but the court is aware of what those things are. Incredibly traumatic events that I think she had repressed and had never really addressed and explored. And so those counselors recommended not just aftercare, but a specific outpatient program to address some of the trauma issues that she's had. She went and checked into that program, stayed for basically a year, and again, did everything we asked her to do. When I told her to go get her own drug patch, I told her to go get her own interlock device. She did all of that. Those records should be attached to the memo. She was successful, has been following the rules, doing everything we've asked her to do, had been going to AA, had gotten a counselor, actually reached out and befriended the director of the Dream Center to try to figure out what she could do next to sort of commit herself to her sobriety and to fixing the mental health issues that I think stem from the challenges that she faced as a young person. She sometimes it's easy to look at one side of the ledger, the rap sheet or the criminal history, and think that defines this person. What I have been fortunate enough to do is to really dig down and get to understand her as a human, and see that all the progress she's made, all the effort she's made, and see what she's done well and all of the problems that she's been addressing well. She's obviously very anxious about this day, but we've been looking forward to this day as well to be able to present that. And I want to go down on the bottom of page 2, address what I was talking about in the CSI. So that I'm not saying that this wasn't the words that came out of her mouth, but when she was asked by one of the examiners in the probation report if she felt she needed treatment, she said she didn't feel like she needed treatment. She wasn't opposed either. I want to clarify what we mean by that. And I say this here, but what she would say, I think, is she did 90 days of detox rehab related treatment, has continued aftercare, has continued mental health care. But in terms of going to a program that is specifically targeted at people who are currently using or currently intoxicated, I think she thought that wasn't the direction that would be ideal. She will do whatever you want her to do, but I wanted to explain what that comment means. And so, because a lot of times, as you know, Judge, private rehabilitation programs will just reject you if you've been clean for 3+ years, as she has. And so they just won't even accept you at all. So I think that was just a misunderstanding or a miscommunication between the probation officer and Catherine. But nonetheless, she's willing to do whatever the court chooses here. Additionally, we've been in contact with her current parole officer. They are willing to keep her on parole instead of revoking her, depending on what the court does here. And so that was encouraging as well. I think we had the same kinds of conversations with them about her recovery and about her efforts. And so I think that was an encouraging sign from them.
All right, he's doing well.
The impact that all of this has had.
Let's skip ahead.
Yeah.
Both financially and take here. And
Judge West has to say.
Thank you. Ms. Malfino?
Judge.
So what I love about this is the judge does the thing, and you're like, okay, well, this is good. And then the judge starts talking, and you're like,
oh yeah, the
okay.
judge will start bringing up, like, okay,
Didn't know
great.
that.
I don't envy the position that the court is in.
Well,
Sorry. I do take very seriously the comments of Mr. Burns. I take him at his word for that, and I hope that all of those things are true. It's difficult for me as a representative of Jefferson County and the state and the citizens that are on the roads every day to stand up and say I agree with probation, but I don't disagree with the things that Mr. Gertz has said and the information that is in his sentencing memo. To play the other side of the coin, does it suggest that she received the benefit of the doubt already by me waiving the habitual status that she could have been facing based on her number of priors? Does it seem in good conscience that I can say I ignore all of those priors? Absolutely not. But obviously, we have seen that her multiple trips to the penitentiary have resulted in no change of behavior until hopefully now in these last 3 years. And I do sympathize with Ms. Welch as an individual. Again, it's hard for me as a district attorney, assistant district attorney, to say that I concur with the punishment being probation, but I don't, again, disagree with the comments that Mr. Gertz has. We've had multiple conversations about this case. I know he's worked very diligently at it. I don't really know, Judge, and that's why it's before you, that putting her in prison for 20 years and her getting out in 2 versus an extensive probation.
Extensive probation.
I want to say that the past was fueled by drugs and alcohol.
The legal strategy employed by the defense here is a textbook example of mitigation over litigation. Yeah. Attorney Ryan Gertz recognized that fighting the facts of a 10th DWI was impossible. Instead, he focused entirely on the sentencing phase. By presenting a comprehensive sentencing memorandum, documenting 90 days of inpatient rehab, trauma counseling, and voluntary sober living, the defense attempted to reframe the defendant not as a criminal, but as a patient finally receiving the right.
You can't possibly have a driver's license after 10 DUIs.
So, in our state, it is an I think on a third within 5, you get an automatic 5-year suspension.
Yeah, they put you in jail though with this.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, you can get up to a year in jail on a DUI.
Treatment. Crucially, note the procedural maneuvering. The state waived the habitual offender enhancement. In Texas, a habitual offender with 2 prior penitentiary trips faces a minimum of 25 years to life. By securing a waiver on this status, the defense had already won a massive victory before sentencing began, capping her exposure significantly. The central legal conflict in this video is whether the judge weighs mitigating factors, recent rehabilitation, heavily enough to override the aggravating factors, a 30-year history of recidivism.
I take complete responsibility for that. I did not know from very young when things happened in my life that it could have been, some of it could have been treated and stopped earlier if I had gotten help for my mental health. That, after I received this DWI, that helped me get myself to a place that I could go my mental health. And I also lived on their facility. I went to the sex trafficking and recovery program, and I was in that for about 8 months, where I got worked really hard.
And even if you're not doing it with the intention to hurt people, you're putting people in danger. You have to be stopped.
I had moved on with my life as far as I could with my. Now that I'm responsible and capable of taking.
Thank you.
All right, Judge West.
If I was the judge and I was really petty, I would go pull his.
So, Ms. Welch, Ms. Malfino probably said it yet best, and I get this often, and they don't. envy my position, and this is the worst part of my job. But I worked hard to get here, and it's my job. Part of my job, it's several things, and it's to look at, obviously defendants and giving chances and things like that, but it also is about making our community safe. And I have to look back. This is your 10th DWI. It's not your 5th. It's not your 8th. It's the 10th. And while I understand the trauma that you went through, you've been to SAFE 3 times. You've been given opportunities on probation where they were revoked. You've had opportunities while you were on parole to do what you have done now. And while I appreciate what you've done, and I think that's great, and my goal isn't to, to stop any improvement, but I can't, in my opinion, in good faith, go home tonight, look myself in the mirror, and say I gave somebody on their 10th DWI that your last sentence was for 15 years in prison. The one before that was for 10. The one before that, you've gone to another 10 years, back in 09. I mean, this goes back to the 90s. You got a 10-year sentence in 2011. While you're on parole for that one, you get another one, so they give you 15 years, and you get out and you're on parole and you do it again. The fact is, we're just lucky that you haven't killed someone in our community 9 times over, being given opportunities. I just can't do it. I'm going to find that you entered your plea of guilty freely and voluntarily. I'm going to find and your plea of true to the prior offense. I'm going to find sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and at this time find you guilty of driving while intoxicated. I'm going to sentence you to a term of 18 years in the institutional division of the Texas Department of Corrections. You will receive credit on that sentence for any time that you've been in custody that the law gives you the right to receive. You're going to be handed a trial court certification that shows this was not, well, I guess there was an agreement because...
Okay, so 18 years. She's going to have to do, like, all of it, right?
Mr. Harris, are you driving?
Well, she's already been out on
Actually, I'm pulling into my doctor's office, actually. So just give me 1 second. I'm parking right now.
I blame the judge at this point.
It is, but it depends on the state on what their good behavior laws are and what their parole, how they do parole.
Gotcha.
And parole hearings and stuff. Oh, I love Judge.
Mr. Harris, are you driving?
So you know Simpson.
Actually, I'm pulling into my doctor's office, actually. So just give me 1 second. I'm parking right now.
See,
I haven't seen this one.
Simpson seems like a nice guy, right?
He's a nice guy, but he's a fucking dumbass.
This guy, Simpson?
Oh, sorry.
Oh, Harris.
No, I love Simpson. Simpson's great.
You stationary?
He's such a nice guy.
I'm pulling in right now at this second. Yes, I am.
Oh, yeah, I agree. He's like...
All right. What are we doing?
Your Honor, we are respectfully requesting an adjournment in this matter, up possibly 2 to 4 weeks if the court would allow.
Okay.
That's what it sounds like.
So maybe I don't understand something. This is a driving while license suspended?
That is correct, Your Honor.
And he was just driving. And he didn't have a license.
Look at his face.
Is with the charges, Your Honor, yes.
No, I'm looking at his record. He doesn't have a license. He's suspended and he's just driving.
That is correct, Your Honor.
That's his defense attorney, I think.
Jeez, you're on your own, man. That's what I'm saying. You just drove in front of the judge.
He's just raising his hand. He looks so befuddled. What a dumbass.
That was pretty dumb. So when the judge is writing,
hello?
it'll be good, right?
No. They're putting notes down for now.
1 minute, Mr. Harris.
He's like, hello? Can speed this along? I got some driving to do.
Oh, I see, yeah.
I don't even know why he would do that. So defendant's bond is revoked in this matter. Defendant is to turn himself into the Washington County Jail by 6 p.m. today. Failure to turn himself in will result in a bench warrant with no bond.
No, there's this one I saw. He just died.
Thank you.
Your Honor.
No, there was this one I saw, and before court, the judge hadn't even entered the courtroom. He's sitting there just rolling up a ball.
Welcome back to the Lackluster channel. The other day I published a video update from an unlawful traffic stop that ended with a lawsuit and eventual settlement. After posting that video, Bob Wolverton.
Sure.
Welcome back to the Lackluster channel. Welcome back.
All right, this one is the most infuriating one.
Time is 4:51. I'm gonna check my phone.
To the Lackluster channel.
And this is from Lackluster.
The other day I published a video update from an unlawful traffic stop that
We're live on YouTube. Okay.
ended with a lawsuit and eventual settlement. After posting that video, Bob Wolverton reached out to me and shared video footage of disgraced Officer Dickerson's blatantly false testimony during the criminal trial. Bob is an expert witness and helps attorneys expose police misconduct in civil rights cases. Ms. Stevens was represented by attorney Matthew Lawrence. He is licensed in Mississippi and California if you are looking for representation. This is not a paid promotion. I have no ties to either of them. The video begins with the direct examination of Officer Dickerson by the prosecutor.
I was on a previous traffic stop with Officer Myers and Officer Craven involving a subject that had been placed in custody back in the car. Myself, Officer Myers, and Officer Craven were standing there just talking in general about the thing, waiting for a record to come to tow the vehicle, and noticed that the patrol car was shaking back and forth. One of us, I don't remember, said, "What's going on?" and looked in the back of the car, and the subject in the back of the car was laid across the back seat towards the driver's side, yelling at a vehicle in the street. Asked the person in the vehicle, to go down the road, that they were interfering with a traffic stop. And they told me that they were on a public road and they didn't have to go down the street. I told them to go down the road or I would take them into custody. And they said, "Fuck you, I can do what I want, I'm on the public road, it's my brother."
Why are you laying down, man? Hey, go down the road. Yeah. You're interfering. Hey, call my daddy. Hey, you want to be in jail too? Huh? Uh-huh.
Have fun.
They went down the road, I made a traffic stop on them, and that's where I came into contact with Ms. Stevens.
And when he came into contact with Ms. Stevens, how did you end up identifying her?
I asked her for her ID. Initially, she would not give it to me.
Let's see your license, please.
Wouldn't give her.
I'm clean. Let me ask you a question. You ready for me to ask you?
Yeah, you can.
Okay. You ever heard of interfering with a traffic stop?
That's not interfering. That's my brother. I ain't saying nothing. I'm
Step
just
out the
looking.
car. Step out the car.
I will.
Yep.
Omar, call my mama and my lawyer, please.
Give me your license, please.
It don't matter.
What?
They
27 seconds, yeah.
And did you explain the purpose of your stop, or what? Just explain to us what.
I told Ms. Stevens
at that point.
the reason I was speaking with her is because she was interfering with a traffic stop up the road there, and that she did not be involved with that traffic stop based on safety concerns.
Okay. And did you have any further conversation, or did you just place her under arrest at that point? Or
I asked her to step out of the vehicle. She would not step out of the vehicle.
That's my brother. I ain't saying nothing. I'm just looking.
Step out of the car.
I'm just looking.
I will. Omar, call my mom and my lawyer, please.
She locked her doors on me.
Let's see license plate.
That's even more blatant of a lie.
When I finally got her out of the vehicle, I went to place her into custody, and she pulled away from me, told me I will not take her into custody.
Stopping and yelling at people on a traffic light. Just hush and listen.
You told me to go ahead and go. I wasn't talking to him. You told me to go ahead and go. I wasn't talking to him. I was just, if that was your family.
You want to stop and listen, or do you want to go to jail right now?
Go.
I will take you to jail right now.
Go.
You stopping and putting your head over there and stopping and he can yell at you is interfering with a traffic stop. Interfering with an investigation on a traffic stop, regardless of what you want to believe or not. Period.
Did I say something?
I'm tired of you. Hold up.
I didn't say nothing.
Hold up.
Come on.
Yeah. Even I heard it yourself. You can't tell me to stop or tell me to go.
I was talking to him. He said I was interfering with him.
Confidential line on this car. Yeah, you're fine. That's right. Let's go.
It don't matter.
It matters. When you interfere with somebody on a traffic stop.
I'm talking to you. You told me to be quiet.
I don't know what. I don't know what.
It don't matter.
I don't know what. Sit down.
And I finally gained custody of her and put her in handcuffs.
okay, and that's the basis of the resisting arrest charge.
That's correct.
And as far as the failure to comply or whatever, what was the issue when she was at the traffic stop? Because that's where this
She was yelling back and forth with her brother. I actually opened the back door of the patrol car to ask him why he was laying over there. Before I realized Miss Stevens was in the street. He was trying to get out of the patrol car so he could yell at her more clearly. I had to push him back in the patrol car, and that's when I realized what was going on with Miss Stevens and further went there.
Okay. And you were, again, just to be sure, you were in the process of arresting her brother?
That's correct. That's correct.
And is there anything else that you'd like to add to that as far as the, I'm sorry, I'll turn it off, the failure to comply? What was the...
When I told her to go down the road and she did not do so, she told me that she had the right to be there because it's a public street. I had to tell her again before she left.
Nailed it.
Reluctantly.
That's the first truthful thing he said.
3.5 charge here.
Why are you laying down, man? Hey, go down the road.
Yeah.
You're interfering.
Hey, call my daddy.
Hey, you want to be in jail too? Huh?
That's fine.
What exactly was the conduct resisting arrest?
She would, at first, wouldn't get out of the vehicle at all. When I got her out of her vehicle, she pulled her arm away from me when I tried to handcuff something.
After watching the video, Attorney Lawrence will cross-examine Officer Dickerson. Take note of the officer's change in tone.
Anything else?
Officer Dickerson, I mean, you saw the video, you testified in it. Is there anything that you want to add or clarify about the video? Or?
No, sir. I mean, what happened is what I said, what happened on the video.
I don't have anything else for Officer Dickerson.
Officer Dixon, my name is Matt Lawrence, I'm an attorney for Ms. Stevens. So, where you were testifying, you said that she resisted arrest. Did you watch that video just now?
I was there, sir.
You were there. I asked you if you watched the video.
No, sir. I did not watch the video. I was there. I know what happened. I saw the long drive.
Your memory is more reliable than the video the judge just watched.
In my opinion.
Oh my God.
My opinion. You said that Ms. Stevens refused repeatedly to get out of the vehicle. Is that true?
When the video, I asked Ms. Stevens to get out of the car. She said, I will. She didn't get out of the car. I asked her again to get out.
How long did it take her after she said I will to get out?
I didn't look at my watch. I don't know how long.
Was it like a minute or more?
Maybe 2 minutes. I don't know. I didn't look at my watch, sir.
Okay.
I was focusing on her because I didn't know if she had anything in the car. I didn't know her intent or anything else. So I was focusing on her.
When you came up to the car initially, was the door open or closed?
Closed.
Her door, was it closed?
Closed.
Okay, and you're sure that you remember that?
Yes, sir.
100% her door was closed.
So, I say it very clear.
Okay.
It's a very good call. As you can see, I asked her, can I ask you a question? What do you do to understand here my traffic stop? Right. The door was closed.
The door was closed at that time. You're sure?
Ask the question. You were a police officer on the stand. You know this.
He has clearly been never been challenged this far.
Well, and he's probably come in and lied on the stand before. There
Yeah.
was a case I was observing. It was a DUI crash investigation. She didn't tell him when it changed to a DUI investigation. She also didn't see him get out of the car, all of this stuff. And then she opened his car, which is, you can't do that. You can't search someone's car without their permission. And pulled alcohol out of, she picked up an airbag and grabbed the alcohol out and said, oh, there's alcohol in the car. And lied on the stand. And then after she left the courtroom, the state attorney and the judge were like, yeah, that's not what we saw. She got no consequences, this police officer. So he's probably done with something like this before and didn't get in trouble for it.
Yeah, he goes to the supervisor, they tell him that's fine, she was uppity, and that's all you gotta say.
And in the case that I saw, the video was suppressed in evidence because it was a hearing to suppress the video. So that case is basically just going to get dropped because they can't prove it now because she botched the investigation, and then she's just going to go back on patrol, no consequences, no one tells her off, nothing.
But this guy clearly has never been challenged to this point.
No.
He can't believe this is happening right now.
No.
I already said what happened. Why are we even having this conversation anymore?
Look at my uniform. Look at my badge.
Yeah.
I'm telling the truth.
Yeah.
Is there any other way for you to say the door was closed?
No other way. I just want to make sure you're sure. So I want to back up a little. And you also said that she jerked her arm away from you and tried to handcuff someone.
That's correct.
And when you said that earlier, did you realize that it was on video?
I know it was on video because I started my video.
Everybody else is.
So, well,
I started my video before I got out of the car. Whether it picked up the sound or not, it takes 30 seconds for it to start the video or sound after you start the video. So I started the video before I got out of the car.
Okay. Well, I'm just wondering, can you show me like how she jerked her hand away from you?
I'm not touching you, sir.
You are so dumb. You are really dumb. For real.
No, not on me. Just how. Can you pretend to be Miss Stevens and show me how she jerked her hand away?
When I placed my hand on her, put her cuffs on, she yanked her back. Yes.
She did?
Yes.
And you're sure about that? I just want to be sure. Do you realize you're on the road right now?
One. Yes, sir. I realize I'm on the road. Two. I do not lie about nothing.
You sit on a throne of lies.
I do not lie about nothing. Get that free right now. Three. What I said happened is what happened.
If you saw something different on the video, how would you explain that? I want to take that as argumentative. I mean,
I was saying that, Jason.
Okay, this poor lady is doing great, right?
Oh, she's
She's
great.
just sitting there like,
Exactly
am I in the
what she
Twilight Zone or something? Like, like I can't believe that she's just been quiet the whole time because something like, what is happening right now?
Is handling this perfectly. She handled it perfectly in the situation. She
Yeah.
stated her rights, but she didn't resist because they will get you for resisting, even though it's stupid that you shouldn't. If it's a false arrest, you get in trouble if you resist. Even if it's a false arrest,
Yeah.
you cannot resist. She handled the situation with grace, and then here in court, there's so many people I see who they're in the right, and they start talking. That one judge
kept
with
it
those
zip.
ties who's always like, "Are you losing?
Fletcher.
Then shut up."
Yeah, Fletcher.
Yeah, Are you losing? Don't say anything.
But she has to be sitting there going, is the judge going to do something about this? Or what is happening right now?
Yeah.
How is this even possible? This is grown adults in a room pretending like this guy's not just lying through his teeth. If she was lying like that, she'd be getting called out on.
She would get in trouble. She would get contempt of court. She would get lying, lying on the stand.
The fact she's just sitting there with her hand on her cheek is amazing to me. She just has to be like, am I in the Twilight Zone? This is crazy.
She's 15.
Sorry, that was a good statement with it. So let's back up to when you initially encountered Miss Stevens. Where were you standing at the time when you first became aware of her?
I was patrol cars right here. I was standing here talking to two other officers. Okay? The car started rocking. Just like my previous testimony stated. I don't know who said what's going on, but I looked back to open the door of the patrol car. He was leaned over, or could get driver's side window, and they're screaming at Miss Stevens. Video shows Miss Stevens screaming back.
They were screaming at each other.
Yes. Call my mother. I will. I will.
You heard that day. Did you just listen to that video?
Hang on just one second. Officer. Yeah, we had an opportunity to come through this.
Not yet.
Is there any discussion today part of this trial?
The mayor wanted to drop the charge. I asked him to pass it to the file. That's the discussion.
We're not going to pass this to the prosecutor. I think there's actually no grounds for the arrest or charges.
I think he was.
Well, we just heard them,
Let me say something. There's times out there. Okay, have you ever been in my place?
This is no one is saying that you have what your job is. I mean, we all know what you do. Right? All I'm saying is you're testifying to a matter that happened. When did this happen?
Back in April. I believe it was February 2nd. Anyway.
Okay. All of us, our minds, if there's an opportunity to watch video prior to court, it's probably something. That's just what I'm saying. If we want to proceed, let's do it.
I would like to proceed with my question. So, getting back to the initial encounter, you were standing on the side of the patrol car, and did you have the door open of the patrol car, interacting with the suspect at the time?
No. I was talking to other officers.
You're talking to other officers. That's when you first noticed Miss Stevens?
No, I noticed Miss Stevens after I realized the guy was laying across the back seat yelling out the first car. Then I noticed Miss Stevens.
You noticed Miss Stevens in the road, and she was doing what at the time?
Apparently listening to him yell back and forth to her. And she yelled back to him, I will.
Said I will.
That's correct. I asked her to leave the scene.
Can you tell me exactly what you said, or something like
Get on down the road.
Get on down the road?
Yes.
And then what did she say?
That's just how I thought.
Yeah. What did she say?
She said no.
She straight up told you, no, I'm not.
I'm on a public road.
She said, I'm on a public road. You could hear that from where you were standing.
Went that far.
Okay. So you could hear everything she was saying clearly?
Pretty much, yes.
Okay. Earlier you said that she said, fuck you.
That's correct.
You remember her saying that?
I do.
And that was, she said it loud?
Yes.
Okay. What else did she say to you during that time?
When she said fuck you, she was driving off down the road, and I was back. That's when I went got my car.
So, can you explain to me this, in your mind at that moment, how had she interfered with the traffic stop?
Stopping on a traffic stop and interacting with the subject as in custody or in place of guilt because he's interfering with the traffic stop. It is placing not only herself, it's placing the officers and the subject that's being arrested in danger. Nobody knows the intent of what's going on.
So, have you ever had anybody pulled over and then their family member came up?
Yes.
It happens a lot, huh?
I tell them to leave. They're interfering with the traffic stop. I do not allow people to stay around in that case because of the safety issues.
When Miss Stevens was saying all these things to you, like when she said, according to you, she said, fuck you, and she was yelling at her brother and all this stuff. And then she said, refused to leave. Was her car moving at that time?
I did not see her car moving. I cannot say 100% it was, 100% it wasn't.
Were you looking in her direction?
So they, yes, so it's in her direction, trying to focus on her and him too, because she was trying to get out of the car, push his head back in.
And you don't remember whether she was moving?
No, sir.
Did you get angry?
No. She wasn't angry. I asked her to move down the road. She used to do so.
Do you remember your colleague ever trying to calm you down or anything at the scene or anything?
Absolutely not.
Your colleague never said anything like "Who's Brava" to you? Do you remember that?
What's Goose Brava?
You might want to ask him. So.
No, sir, I asked you. You asked me. What does it mean?
I asked you if your colleague said that to you. I don't know what it means. I see a movie with Jack Nicholson. It was a pretty good movie. I thought that was a pretty reference. I'm not sure exactly what it means. I don't have any further questions for this. I don't think I would move to dismiss because the totally unreliable, untruthful testimony of the officer on the scene. I would disagree with the whole process. The whole process is tainted. He seems to be willing to make up whatever he needs to justify something that's on video. Ms. Stevens, that just for the motion to dismiss purposes, Ms. Stevens never cussed at him. She never resisted arrest. She got out of the car when he asked her to. Her door was open when he approached her car. All these things are clear from the video evidence. She never said anything to her brother during that entire interaction. And if you watch the video, I'll just tell you what it said. Here's the entire interaction at the traffic stop. Officer opens the door and says, "Why are you laying down?" And I'm going to object. It's been characterized. Well, you can watch the video from perspective, but you ought to watch the video.
Well, I watched it, but sometimes, and if I have to, I'll go back and rewatch it. But it is commentary on evidence that I've reviewed.
So the officer opens the door and says, "Why are you laying down?" And then the officer looks up, sees Miss Stevens' car in the road, and says, "Hey, go on down the road. You're interfering." Good job of doing that. Suspect says, "Yeah," he yelled, "Call my dad." And then my client, in response to the officer, says, "I am. That's my brother. I ain't interfering." And then the officer says, "Hey, you want to be in jail too?" ? And then as she's driving off, she says, "You can't tell me nothing." He gets in his car, peels out, goes up. She's already pulled over because she saw him coming. And, that is a drastically different reality than what the officer just justified to. And if you read his report, there's more embellishments to contradict what he's testified to. So I would just ask the court to dismiss this case because there's no grounds for the arrest, no probable cause. There was no grounds for him to even pull her over, but then there was certainly no grounds for resisting arrest. She was cooperative. She was argumentative, but that is not against the law to question one police officer. So she never physically resisted in any way. And for those reasons, I would ask the court to dismiss this case.
In the end, Miss Stevens was declared not guilty. She later filed a lawsuit and settled for an undisclosed amount. Aside from making a complete fool of himself, Officer Dickerson showed the world that he is an untrustworthy person and will lie to take your freedom, time, and money if his feelings are slightly bruised. Neither the judge or prosecutor took action for the extreme levels of perjury witnessed during Dickerson's sworn testimony. Instead of placing him on the Brady list, preventing him from lying for a conviction, he was advised by the court to review the videos on his next case. This video was also given to the Laurel police chief, but it appears that Officer Dickerson was never reprimanded by the department either. Instead, the taxpayers were once again forced to pay for the misdeeds.
Her money, they put her in a jail cell, which is embarrassing and just disrespectful.
And civil liberties being taken away. It's staggering. All right, so this guy was interesting, I thought. Let's see what he's about.
This is out. She hopped up in my lap and immediately fell asleep.
Ain't got time. Let's try this guy.
Just a teddy bear.
I don't know how to make it play.
He's out. He's out. Look, we've gotten 18 clicks at least.
Yeah, there's 18 people watching.
I
If
saw
we get the next video up.
3 or 4 people watching at one time. I think right now it's just me.
Oh, I thought we had 12 people watching.
No, that's how many people have clicked it. I checked the phone.
And are you all ready to proceed?
The tow guy told me an hour, but it's been like... Okay, it's been... an hour.
Let me.
30. I'll give it till like 5:30.
That always brightens the day. And then her son is graduating the academy. I'm like, oh.
She's a super sweet judge. She puts up with too much.
All right, this is Judge Boyd, right?
Yeah.
The other judges seem so nice. For some reason, I don't think I would mess with Judge Boyd.
No, she's super sweet, and sometimes she lets them... I've seen a few of her videos, because, like, I think all of her cases go onto YouTube, basically, at this point.
So, if you notice...
And are you all ready to proceed?
She's having a great day.
Mm-hmm.
She's got her flowers back there.
Yeah.
She's got her brightly colored purse. Nobody picks a blue purse if they're in a bad
That
mood.
always brightens the day. And then her son is graduating the academy. I'm like, oh.
Reminds me of Oprah. She's got, like, the Oprah cadence.
Somebody in the courtroom's having a kid or getting married, so she's in a good mood.
All right, can I have a file stamp for a plea, please?
Sorry.
No problem.
Gotta get back into the
The court.
Okay, and I figured this one out. This lady and the neighbor don't like each other, and they got into it. There was a little physical altercation.
So
That's it.
It's just like a simple battery.
Mutual combat kind of thing. The neighbors need to. It was an isolated incident. This should be easy, right? She's not a threat.
Is calling 2025 CR 001146 State versus Cynthia Diano. Could I have parties announced for?
The lawyer has worked out a deal. All they got to do is get in front of the judge. Here's the deal. She won't do it again. Have a nice day, right?
The record.
Defendant for the state of Texas. Yeah, Jeffrey Martinez for defendant.
And are you Cynthia Diano?
Yes.
How do you pronounce your last name?
Diano.
I got it right.
See, she's smiling.
Counsel, have you received all discovery? Did you review it with your client?
I did, John.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Ms. Diano, did you review the document entitled Application for Community Supervision or Deferred Adjudication with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes.
Did you review the true bill of indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it?
No time, right?
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment? State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
No, Your State will be
I think
reducing this charge to a misdemeanor DUI and will
Yeah,
proceed.
she's got to do all her stuff, whatever the judge tells her. And
Any objection?
No.
she's
Deputy Laura, Deputy Mejia, can you move them to that other end? All right, we're back on the record. Ms. Diano, did you review the court admonishments with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes.
Did you understand the state is proceeding on the lesser included offense of assault bodily injury as a Class A misdemeanor? Range of punishment is anywhere from up to a $4,000 fine and up to 1 year in the Bexar County Jail. If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand? Oh, you didn't understand that part?
So,
Well, so let me explain to you. And then if you don't understand, let me know. I'll help you and your attorney discuss it. So you're entering into a plea bargain agreement with the state. You understand that part? Whatever agreement that you have worked out with the state, I don't have to follow that agreement. So let's hypothetically say they want you to have probation. If I were to tell you, I'm not going to give you probation, I'm sending you to jail, then you can withdraw your plea.
okay.
Because I have not followed your plea bargain agreement. Now, the conditions for the plea bargain agreement, that's something the court gets to decide. You understand? So if for some reason I don't follow your plea bargain agreement and I try to give you more than what you've bargained for, then you get to withdraw your plea. And it can't be used against you if you decide to go to jury trial. You understand? And by that same token, if I don't follow your plea, then what can end up happening if you withdraw your plea, then the state can say, okay, we're going to have to go to jury trial. We're going to go to jury trial. And maybe they won't be going to jury trial on a Class A misdemeanor. They'll be going to trial on the injury to the elderly. Not maybe, that's what they'd have to do. You understand?
Yeah.
All right. Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent? Did you understand by entering this plea you were giving up those rights? And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into this plea bargain agreement?
Yes.
All right. Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason you were to violate your conditions of probation, I could revoke you and sentence you up to 1 year in the Bexar County Jail. Did you understand?
Yes.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, sir.
Do you believe she has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against her?
I do.
Do you believe she's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes.
Ms. Deano, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea? Anyone promised you anything other than the plea? Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes.
Are you a U.S. citizen? Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived her right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes.
According to the plea, the state is proceeding on the lesser included offense of assault, bodily injury. There's a $500 fine. The state is recommending deferred adjudication, and there's no contact with several people. And there's a Samantha with a question mark by it.
To go off record real quick. Ms. Jones prepared this. I don't know why I did that.
It's just the initials of the victim. They don't know her last name because of a victim. Did it get muted?
I think they just lost volume for a second.
You guilty. If I find that the evidence is not sufficient to find you guilty, then I'm going to file the state. However, if there's something else going on between you and this other person, that is not before this court today. Defense?
Yes, sir.
State? Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in both places?
How to check if someone's spying on you? Actually, it's pretty simple.
Yeah, my YouTube expired. I had to go back and...
Written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand? Counsel, there been such motions?
No.
Outside the agreement, the state is requesting that your deferred adjudication be for a term of 6 months. There be 30 hours of community service restitution, TAP evaluation, follow recommendation, sober meetings, random UAs, and anger management. Did you understand that those were recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations? Then to the offense of assault bodily injury as a Class A misdemeanor, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No.
State any evidence.
The Honor, defense has no objection.
All right, and state, have you spoken with the complainant?
Yes, we have.
All right, thank you. State, you may be excused.
We are.
All right, did you review the waiver and stipulations with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
Yeah.
In all the appropriate places? Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent? Did you understand that today the state would be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Mouth off to the judge.
Yeah.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence state's exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same.
Don't drive if you have a suspended license.
Driving while your case is being called is something special. What's she doing?
And then when the judge is writing, it always makes me nervous.
Well, like sometimes if it's a continuance, they'll just write down what the offer is. Like that's normal. But if it's putting down a lot of notes, looks like the judge is frozen.
It just seems like a lot of writing.
I think she's just frozen. No? She moved?
Reviewing state's exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will defer finding of guilt as you apply for deferred adjudication. Are we proceeding with sentencing?
We would like to, yeah.
All right. Explain to me what's an N knocked. That's in the That's in the police report. That
An N not? Yeah. Like the letter N can.
All right. After reviewing state's exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will defer finding of guilt as you apply for deferred adjudication. Are we proceeding with sentencing?
We would like to, yeah.
All right. Explain to me what's an N knocked.
All right, we'll try it again.
That's in the
Sorry, I heard that.
I got it.
Take 2. Okay.
Apply for deferred adjudication. Are we proceeding with sentencing?
We would like to, yeah.
All right. Explain to me what's an N knocked. That's in the That's in the police report. The officer said suspect 1 stated that victim 1 had N knocked on her door.
And they knocked on their door trying to.
No. I'm asking.
Constantly.
No. What is an N knock?
Nigger knocking.
Yeah. What is that?
Going and knocking on a door and running.
But why is it nigger knocking?
That's what.
Why isn't it Caucasian knocking? Why isn't no? Why isn't it Caucasian knocking? Why isn't Asian knocking? Why isn't some other knocking? Why is it called?
Okay. So she used the N-word. She used the N-word in court.
She didn't just say N-word.
She used the N-word in Judge Boyd's court.
Oh, I love how she's just going at her about it. Like, what is that? Mm-hmm. So also, when you plead to a sentence, you lose the right to remain silent. So the judge can ask you whatever you want about the crime.
Right.
Yeah.
But this attorney has got to be sitting there going, okay, this is possibly on me, all right? Let's review things you shouldn't say in court. I know I didn't specifically say that. But he's got to be sitting there going, are you kidding me? Like, you really had 2 jobs today. You had to wear clothes and not use the N-word in court.
Oh my God.
And she did it twice. He said it more than once.
No, that's just the way they say it.
No, that's the way you say it because that's what you said.
That's what
Nobody calls it that but you.
That's basically, I mean, all right.
Racist piece of shit.
I don't know what else to tell you.
No, I'm just trying to figure out why.
It's
Why
not
would
like
you call
a
it
racist.
that?
It wasn't to be racist. The kids just kept knocking and knocking on my door, constantly doing that to me. They live upstairs. I did not touch this kid, and I really don't even want to sit here and plead to say that I did.
Oh, you can go. We can have a jury trial.
She had a child.
I don't want to do that because he says that's not the best thing to do.
No.
I just lost. Look, I lost a child. My son was 19 years old, was murdered just 2 years ago. I'm under a lot of stress already, so I'm just trying to get out of this and get it as easy as.
That didn't happen to her. She's a bad person.
Just what?
I'm just stressed out enough.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So do you want a jury trial?
No, I don't. I just want to get this over with, do the probation, and whatever I have to do.
All right. So what was the race of?
You asked me that question. If you knew the answer to the question.
What is the race of the complainant?
The judge's fault.
Yeah, everyone's Hispanic and
Asking me that question.
And if I knew the answer, I don't know why you would say that. That's why I'm trying to figure out why you're saying it, because in the police report, they say you were intoxicated. So I'm trying to figure out.
Intoxicated.
That's what it says in the police report. It says, suspect stated V had N knocked on her door and she came outside to see who knocked.
Said it to the cops.
And victim's family came down the stairs yelling at her, accused her of hitting the victim. Suspect kept saying she did not want to tell her side of the story and tried to walk away to go inside. I detained suspect to investigate further. And it says in here that there was signs of drinking.
I don't see a crime in drinking in your own home. I was in my own home.
I'm just trying to figure out what's going on because I have to set conditions for you. Is this an anger problem? Because they want you to do.
I'm sorry that you caught me off guard with the question that you asked me. I feel like you're kind of in a setup, I felt kind of set up with that question. I understand it's not a word to be used, and I understand that I used it in the wrong word, in a wrong way, and I apologize for that. So I'm sorry.
There's more in here that you said. You're using profanity. I am trying to figure out, because it says suspect had a strong odor of intoxicants on her. I'm trying to figure out why the state is asking for anger management, because they're requesting that you do anger management. They're requesting that you have a TAP evaluation to see if you have a drug or alcohol problem. They're asking for sober support meetings. Sober support meetings are usually for people who have a drug or alcohol problem. I'm trying to figure out what's going on because you told me that the lady, Samantha, had assaulted you or is still causing problems with you. So I'm trying to read the room and figure out what's going on, and I cannot.
I'm leaving this apartment, so I'm already have gone into a new place to live. I'm leaving on Sunday because the lady kicked my dog the other day, and she got up in my face and stuck her finger in my face and started yelling at me. No, I don't have a drinking problem. Yes, I lost my child on February 5th, 2023. He was murdered by a best friend in a gas station in Austin, Texas. And I lost my fiance 11 days before that. He had a heart attack inside my home. I've been under a lot of stress and frustration. These people don't leave me alone from upstairs. It's a constant fight with this lady. So I'm moving myself away from that environment. I've already lost my job because of her, that I had a job with for 6 years, working from home. And I politely went upstairs and told her, look, I work from home. All they do is they run like a herd of elephants upstairs and basically just annoying people. And that's it. The kid just keeps knocking on my door. They would steal my decorations from my home. I've already complained. So now I'm taking myself out of the environment and just going somewhere else.
All right, State. You're requesting anger management in sober meetings? All right, and why are you requesting that?
Seems like that would be beneficial for the defendant to undergo.
We're in agreement with the state. We would have to probate the fine, Your Honor. As you heard, the defendant has lost her job. She's having to have moving expenses. She's indigent and court appointed, Your Honor. So at this time, we'd ask to follow the plea and to waive the fine.
So you're fine with anger management in sober meetings?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
This is already in the folder.
Sometimes having a public defender is better than the state attorney.
There's going to be a $500 fine probated, proof of employment within 30 days, no employment as a home health care provider or with minors.
I like that she does that, not all judges.
There's going to be 1 year deferred adjudication, 80 hours of community service restitution. I think she needs anger management. I'm going to order anger management. Once she's completed that, then 40 of the hours will be deemed satisfied. And then I'm going to order 60 sober meetings in 60 days.
80 hours.
TAP evaluation, that can be out of custody.
It was 30 at the beginning.
Follow recommendations. There's going to be field visits 1 time per month.
Again, these people get off pretty easy for mouthing off to a judge like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like she's got 6 months probation and $500 fine, and her alcohol and drug stuff, which sounds like probably a good idea.
They're pretty standard. Those are good.
I'm amazed at how cool these judges are.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I thought for sure she's gonna be like, well, you know what? Let's do a jury trial. Next case. But
they will, but they really want them to plea. They don't like doing trials. They really don't like doing trials in court.
I think Boyd made her point. I think she made her point, and instead of
the fact she started arguing with the judge.
Yeah, I just using the N-word in court. I just can't get past that. And she said it twice.
And the fact she didn't even censor herself, say it's N-word. It's the N-word.
I mean, I get
I
being
was
honest,
drunk.
but you know,
Yeah.
like judge, I don't know. I'm not.
I'm
saying
surprised she didn't pull the. It's not in my vocabulary. I was just really drunk.
I don't know what it means. Just like wow, but yeah, I don't know what to do with that information.
Or I don't even remember saying that. I don't know what I said.
So this is what we learned today. This was my takeaway. Don't smoke in court. Don't drive in front of a judge if you have a suspended
I
license.
think these are pretty simple.
But yeah, you think these go without saying. Don't cuss the judge out. Probably don't use racial epithets in court at all. What else did you get? And if the judge is writing, that's probably bad news.
Yeah, in certain situations, for sure.
All right, well, that's the videos I got today.
Yeah.
Say goodbye, Spiv.
Bye, Spiv.
All right, hope the audio was better. We'll check it out. Thanks,
Yeah.
everybody.
Sounded better.